CM Punk make his return to WWE Friday Night SmackDown on the special Tribute to the Troops episode tonight. He has called out Roman Reigns, said that he is the OG Paul Heyman guy, called out Seth freaking Rollins. He's also gone face to face with not only Cody Rhodes, but also LA Knight and Randy Orton, and said that he is going to finish his own story, and that is being in the main event of WrestleMania. In addition to that, he also referenced his backstage altercations with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Jack Perry in All Elite Wrestling. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and CM Punk has just made his return to WWE Friday Night SmackDown, and my oh my, has he had a lot to say, and has he got a lot off his chest, and has he set up plenty of feuds in his immediate WWE future. CM Punk came to Friday Night SmackDown this week, complete with, I guess, his first real comments, first real sinking his teeth into possible feuds. Obviously, it's the first time he's been on SmackDown since his Survivor Series return at the end of last month in Chicago, Illinois. And many people were wondering what was going to be the follow-up to his comments about being home when he cut his promo on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago. Well, actually, many were wondering if indeed CM Punk was going to sign with WWE Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. Now, as it kind of turned out, WWE slightly spoiled CM Punk's promo via a commercial that Punk isn't actually going to make his decision on where he's going to sign until he returns to Raw this coming Monday. So when Punk showed up and got a microphone, he said that he was going to leave it up to the fans. So he asked them if they wanted him to sign with Raw. They booed, and he asked them if they wanted him to sign with SmackDown, and they cheered very loudly. Now, in addition to that, he spoke about a variety of WWE superstars. He also said that because he was talking at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, he was not going to get his time cut, a reference to the fact that when he made his return promo on Raw a couple of weeks ago, because he was the main event segment and the Randy Orton versus Dominic Mysterio main event match went long, he had his time cut. But he talked about a variety of superstars, including, and not limited to, the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion himself, Roman Reigns. He said, I'm going to talk about somebody who's not here and somebody I hear who is never here. He said, Roman Reigns, I acknowledge you and congratulate you on your success. He said, quote, I could talk about someone who was never here, Roman Reigns. I acknowledge you, congrats. Never forget, though, who the OG Paul Heyman guy is. Don't forget whose wise man he was first. He also spoke about Randy Orton, saying on SmackDown, could he be in a tag team with Randy Orton? Of course, he's got a lot of history with Randy Orton. CM Punk's feud with the Viper is legendary. In fact, they faced off at WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta, Georgia, during Randy Orton's feud with the new Nexus. He also spoke about the possibility of teaming up with LA Knight, the same LA Knight that actually he would interact with later on in the show. Actually, though, maybe the most interesting comment was his comments about Kevin Owens when asking about other SmackDown superstars. Someone in the crowd said Kevin Owens, of course, a name that's got no love lost with CM Punk, have had their issues legitimately in the past. Kevin Owens also going on record saying he's not the biggest fan of the former AEW World Champion, and actually said in an interview recently he just wanted to have fun at work and hoped that CM Punk was the same. Now, CM Punk actually said in his promo tonight that he thinks that maybe Kevin Owens and himself are a little bit too alike. He says he didn't know how comfortable he would be working with someone who just punches people in the face backstage. An obvious reference to some of his backstage problems that maybe he had in All Elite Wrestling. Now, you heard the sort of sharp intake in breath on commentary because that is a reference to CM Punk's backstage altercations in All Elite Wrestling. Of course, the first being with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, infamously known as Brawl Out back in 2022, after the now infamous AEW All Out post-show press conference, in which then AEW World Champion CM Punk verbally, I guess, slammed the AEW Executive Vice Presidents along with Hangman Adam Page and Colt Cabana, infamously saying that he worked with children and inviting them, if they had a problem, to come to his dressing room, which they did, which resulted in a backstage brawl, resulting in all of them being suspended by the company. Of course, all would eventually make their return to AEW at various times. Of course, it's not the only backstage altercation, though, that he might be talking about, because the last one that he had in All Elite Wrestling was backstage at AEW All In at Wembley Stadium in London, England earlier this year, and it involved Jack Perry, and depending on who you talk to, involved maybe CM Punk choking out Jack Perry after Perry made reference to Punk and a previous backstage altercation they had earlier on the year. It was during said same backstage altercation that Punk allegedly leaned at, or certainly went for, the AEW president and CEO himself, Tony Khan, resulting in Punk being fired with cause from the company, paving the way for a WWE return. So certainly if you're looking for CM Punk to make a reference to AEW and Brawl out and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Tony Khan and Jack Perry on AEW television, that's maybe as close as you're going to get. Now, he did also talk about Seth Rollins, of course, the person who is expected to be CM Punk's first feud now that he's back in WWE. Of course, Rollins had a visceral reaction to Punk's return at Survivor Series in Chicago, actually putting his middle finger up, swearing at him, flipping him off and all that kind of stuff. And Punk has kind of referenced him in his previous promo, saying that everybody was happy to see him back. Well, almost everybody. Now, with Seth Rollins, he didn't mention him by name, but the crowd started to sing his song, and CM Punk quickly brushed that off by saying that all Seth Rollins actually had was his song. He even said that he wasn't even the man in his own household, of course referring to Seth Rollins' wife, that being the man herself, Becky Lynch. Now, Punk then said that he was going to hear out all of the authority figures in WWE. He was going to hear out SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. He was also going to have a call with NXT Creative Director Shawn Michaels, and also he was going to listen to Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, and then he was going to make his decision Monday night on Raw in Cleveland, Ohio, of course the same city, the same arena that he walked out of WWE in infamously back in 2014, the night after the Royal Rumble. And he also really laid out his mission statement for what he wants to do now that he's back in WWE. He said, quote, "I'm back to finish what I started, to main event WrestleMania." Now, he also said earlier on, when asking the fans what they wanted to talk about, he wondered if they wanted him to talk about entering the Royal Rumble, eliminating 29 other men, climbing up to the top turnbuckle and pointing towards the WrestleMania sign. It would certainly be very clear that CM Punk wants to and is going to enter the Royal Rumble and seemingly wants to main event WrestleMania. Now, what was interesting about this as well is that after this promo segment, we did get a couple more of Punk appearances in the evening. In addition to having face-to-face conversations with the likes of SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Cody Rhodes, CM Punk also did have a face-to-face with none other than Kevin Owens. Certainly significant, as again, Owens and Punk do have history dating back to some possible heat from when they were both in Ring of Honor. What did you think of this interaction as well? CM Punk talking to the SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis backstage in his office. Aldis handed CM Punk a SmackDown contract, but then CM Punk was interrupted by Cody Rhodes, who did also appear on the program tonight paying tribute to the troops. Punk was listening to what Cody Rhodes had to say. Rhodes said, quote, "It sounds like for you to finish your story, you need to win the Royal Rumble, and that's interesting." He then once again welcomed CM Punk back, calling him an old friend. Now, prior to tonight's main event, which is Randy Orton and LA Knight facing off against the Bloodlines, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, there was Randy Orton talking with LA Knight backstage, but then once again, they were interrupted by the aforementioned CM Punk, who wished them luck in their main event, certainly teasing feuds with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and LA Knight, as well as getting in a couple of AEW references as well. Certainly a busy night for CM Punk. So what is your thought of CM Punk's return promo tonight on SmackDown? Did you prefer it to the one that we saw on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago? Where do you think he's going to sign? Do you think he's going to end up signing with Raw and feuding with Seth Rollins? Do you think he is going to main event one of the nights of WrestleMania? Are you looking forward to a possible feud between himself and Roman Reigns? What were your thoughts on the AEW references? Were they necessary? Did you like them? There wasn't much of a reaction inside the arena. What does that say to you? Let me know your thoughts about all of it in the comment section below. But there you go, guys. This latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.